the iron gate, and the honey light. A romantasy sleep story. Close your eyes. There is a garden at the edge of the world. Not the world you know, not the one with noise and hurry and sharp bright mornings. The other world, the one that lives beneath sleep, where the air is soft and the dark is not empty but full. The sun never fully rises here, it never fully sets. The sky stays the color of old honey and deep water all at once, gold and grey and something that has no name. The light does not come from above, it comes from below, from the moss, from the roots, from the slow breathing of a garden that has been alive for longer than anyone remembers. This is Sable's garden. She did not choose it, it chose her. 3 years ago, she walked in through the iron gate at the far end of the moorland, following the sound of something beautiful she could not name. And when she turned to leave, the gate was gone, not locked, simply gone. The garden had decided she belonged here, and the garden does not negotiate. She was not afraid. She was by then already in love. Sable is blind. She has been blind her whole life. She has never seen the colors of the flowers that grow in thick tangles along the path, the ones that glow faintly at their centers, like they swallowed stars and kept them. She has never seen the way the bioluminescent moss runs in rivers of soft green light along the stone. She had never seen any of it, but she knows all of it. She knows the garden through her hands, the rough bark of the old oak at the center, the velvet softness of the night blooming petals, the cold smooth stones of the path. She knows it through her feet, the way the ground hums faintly near the center, the way the earth feels different in the places the magic runs deepest, like standing over something vast and sleeping. She knows it through the air, the scent of dark roses and rain-wet stone, and something underneath all of it, something iron and old, like blood remembered rather than spilt. And she knows it through her poetry. Every morning, or what passes for morning here, the moment the honey light deepens slightly instead of dimming, Sable sits on the stone bench by the wisteria wall, and she writes. She writes about what she cannot see and somehow gets it exactly right. She writes about light she has never witnessed and captures it better than anyone else with eyes ever could. The flowers lean toward her voice when she reads aloud. The paths rearrange gently to keep her safe. The garden loves her. She's not alone in it. His name is Rowan. He arrived 2 years ago 2 years after Sable, and she knew the moment he entered the garden because the air changed. There's a particular kind of stillness that collects around him, the way water collects in low places, heavy and quiet and very, very still. She does not like it. She does not like him. He is the garden's keeper. That is what he told her the first time they spoke. One sentence, flat and clean, keeper. As though the word explained everything and needed no company. He speaks to her in short sentences. He does not fill silence. He watches her. She can feel it, the weight of his attention, like a hand held above her shoulder without touching. And he says almost nothing. Twice she has reached for a path she knew and found a stone wall where there was none before. She is almost certain he put it there. She does not know why. She has asked. He said, "Some paths are not safe at night." She said, "I have walked every path in this garden for 3 years in the dark and managed." He said quietly, "I know." It makes her very furious in a very specific way. Not the hot, bright fury of a fight, but the slow burning kind. The kind that lives in your chest like an ember you keep meaning to put out and keep forgetting. The kind that keeps you awake. She has written poems about it. There is a man who stands at the edge of things, who watches without speaking, still as stone. He builds his walls where I have built my wings. He calls it care, I call it being owned. But in the dark I hear him, not his voice. Just breathe, just wait, just presence like a wall. And I'm furious, I have no choice but to feel safer every time he falls. Into the stillness at the garden's hem, I hate that he is there. I hate it, and something quieter hates the night he isn't. She never showed him that one. Here is what Sable does not know. At the center of the garden, beneath the oldest oak, the one with roots so wide and deep they run under everything, under her bench and her path and her wisteria wall. Not a body, not a stone, something older than either. Something that was sealed here before the garden grew around it, before the gate was made, before the first person ever walked these paths. Something that was bound here because there was no safer place to put it, because deep old magic needed deep old roots to hold it. And these were the deepest roots in the known world. It has been sleeping. For a very long time, it has been sleeping. But it's awaking. Slowly, the way winter wakes. Not all at once, but in pieces. A degree at a time, a root at a time. A slow gathering of awareness. It is drawn to brightness, and Sable, despite her blindness, is the most visible thing in the garden. Not to human eyes, not to any eyes you could call eyes, but to whatever is stirring beneath the oak, she shines. Her voice, when she recites specifically the frequency of it, the particular resonance that comes from someone who has spent their whole life listening instead of looking, is part of what keeps the seal intact. She is woven into the garden's protection without knowing. Rowan knows this. He was sent here because he knows this. He is the only person the old order trusted with the knowledge of what lies beneath the oak and what it would take to keep it sleeping and what would happen if it woke. He arrived, he read the full record, he understood. And then he stood between her and it every single night for 2 years without telling her. The wall he builds across her paths, he builds them when the thing beneath the oak stirs and reaches, when she drifts too close to the center without knowing it. The particular stillness that gathers around him, that is him absorbing, taking the tension of something vast and hungry and redirecting it, drawing it toward himself, stepping in front of it the way you might step in front of a light to cast a shadow over something precious. Every night she felt watched and resented him for it. He was watching. He was always watching, just not the way she thought. The night it breaks open starts the way all important night starts, quietly. Sable cannot sleep. She wraps herself in the heavy wool blanket. She keeps on the stone bench and walks. The honey light is low tonight, the bioluminescent moss dimmer than usual, and the air carries a vibration she has felt before, but never this strongly. A low hum in the roots beneath her feet, a pressure in the ground, like something pressing upward from below. She walks towards the center. She always does when the hum is strongest. It feels like following a heartbeat. She does not know she's walking into the radius of the thing beneath the oak. She runs into Rowan, literally. Her hands hits his arm and she grabs it on instinct. And he is solid and warm and very, very still. "What are you doing here?" she says. Her voice is sharp. She says nothing for a moment. Then, standing between you and something you cannot see, she asks, "Since when?" He says, "Since the night I arrived." Something in his voice, not the words but the shape underneath the words, the exhaustion in it, the long-held breath of someone who has been carrying something very heavy for a very long time without putting it down, stops her fury before it starts. He takes her hand. He does not hold it the way you hold the hand for comfort. He holds it the way you press someone's palm to something real, because words are not enough. He presses it to the bark of the nearest tree, and she feels it. all at once, all of it. The roots run everywhere, under her feet, under the paths, under the bench where she writes every morning. She can feel the whole garden through the bark, the way you can feel a whole body through a pulse. She can feel the thing beneath the oak, vast and slow and almost awake, pressing upward like a tide. She can feel the seal holding it, thin and old and fraying at the edges. And she can feel him. 2 years of it, worn into the wood like grooves. 2 years of him placing himself between her and the center, drawing the tension of something enormous so it turns towards him and away from her, absorbing the pressure of it night after night in silence. The walls across the paths, she can feel exactly where he built each one and why. Each one placed in the moment the thing below surged toward her, each one a body thrown in front of a blow. She pulls her hand back from the tree. She's quiet for a long time. You let me be afraid of you, she says at last, not accusing, wondering. Yes, he says, but why? If you had known you were in danger, you would have stopped singing. If you had stopped singing, the seal would have weakened faster than I could hold it. I needed you. I needed you to feel safe. The only way I could give you that was to be the thing you were afraid of instead. She understands. She's a poet. She understands things in textures and shapes, not arguments, not the shape of this, of someone choosing over and over, in the dark, with no witness and no acknowledgement, to place themselves between another person and a thing that wants them. She knows exactly what that shape is. She has written about it. She just did not know she was writing about him. Love is not always a hand held out in light. Sometimes it is a body in the way, a shadow placed precisely in the night between the one you would die for and the fray. No witness, no reward, no name spoken, just standing, just enduring, just the slow accumulation of a promise, unbroken. I will be here, I will not let you go. You will not know that is the whole of it. You will feel safe and think the garden keeps you, and I will stand and ache and not permit the dark to find you. That is how love depends, not in the speaking, in the staying, not in the light, in the staying. She finds out later, much later, when she thinks to ask, that he had been planning to leave. Once the seal was reinforced, once the immediate danger passed, he had always meant to leave. He packed in his mind every night he kept watch. He was not planning to be thanked. He was not planning to be known. He was planning to disappear back into the old order, back into the quiet work, back into the kind of life that is made of other people's safety and very little else. She asks him to stay. One sentence, soft as the most underwhelming. He stays. And this is where the story ends and something else begins. Not a dramatic thing, not a declared thing, a quiet thing. The way all the most lasting things are quiet. He stays in the garden and he knows she is there. And the knowing changes the air between them, changes the particular quality of his stillness, changes the way she reaches for the paths and finds them open now. All of them, everyone. He still stands between her and the center of the nights. The thing below stirs. But now, when she hears him there, that particular weight of him, that silence that is shaped like a person, she does not feel caged. She feels held. There is a difference. She knows it in her bones now. A cage keeps you in, a held thing is kept safe. On mornings, when the honey light deepens, and she takes her place on the stone bench with her paper and her pen, she writes. And the flowers still lean toward her voice, and the paths still arrange themselves gently beneath her feet. And somewhere at the edge of the garden, near the wisteria, near the old iron fence that no longer frightens her, he can feel the particular stillness of him, watching, always watching. But she knows now what he's watching for. Sleep now, wanderer, the garden holds. The roots run deep beneath your feet. Something old and warm and patient folds the dark around you like a sheet. You were never alone in this. You only thought you were. Beneath every fear you could find fix. A watcher keeps the door. And somewhere at the edge of sleep, where the honey light grows dim, there is a stillness, vast and deep. You are safe within it. Rest now. Every thorn knows your name. Every root holds the seal. And here is he. He's here. He was always here. You just didn't know until now. Sleep well, my friend. Good night.